You guys ready for the first debate? Of course you're not. None of us are. It's an embarrassment to say the least. A racist billionaire and his best friend who've never seen a war that she never wanted to get involved in. I want to talk a little bit about zombies. A nation of zombies trying to lecture us on what we should do with our vote, on what we should do with our movement. There's nothing more There's nothing more offensive than someone telling me that, yeah, Kendall, at some point you're going to come around and vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton. Like, really? I mean, that's so insulting to me. I get so ticked off. You guys don't know how mad that makes me. And just to be clear, when election day is here, I'm voting for Jill Stein. And everyone's going to know I'm voting for Jill Stein because, guess you know what? I'm going to screenshot my ballot and post it and share it via social media. I want the zombies to know that we're not interested in anything that they're doing. We're not interested in listening to their tired ideology, same worn out ideology, how we have to vote for one person to, avert getting a Donald Trump presidency. I've heard so much ignorance thrown at us in the past few days recently. So much ignorance. People saying, someone told me here recently, that they said, Kelly, all the things going on in the world, and you have dumbed it down to talking about the national debt and the gold standard. Non-existent issues, they call it. They said that these issues wasn't even a priority. I'm like, really? How about if people didn't think our nation was broke, all those things that they were talking about could actually be funded? If our nation wasn't broke, if people didn't think our nation was broke, the most deadly diseases in the world will be cured. If people didn't think our nation was broke, if people didn't think our nation was broke, the student debt will be canceled. The same way we bailed out the crooks on Wall Street, they can cancel the debt the same exact way. That's the reality of the situation. But no one wants to really hear that. They don't want to hear that. They want to call us conspiracy theorists or call us young and wet behind the ears and say things like, you guys look at every shiny object. It's not a shiny object. It's a common sense logic. The fact that we can't have common sense policies, it's like, really? What's going on, Anthony? I'm glad you're on board. But, really? That's where we at. That's what we're dealing with. The fact that people don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. Ignorance is one thing, but the fact to choose to be ignorant, that's a whole nother dangerous situation. When we choose to be ignorant, when we choose to not look at the big picture, and we choose to shut everything out, that's where we at. That's what we're dealing with now. A nation of zombies. Hi, Melissa? A nation of zombies. A nation of zombies that sit around on the couch and criticize. That's it. They're not really talking about being progressive. They're not really caring about real policy. All they're doing is voting for whoever they was told to vote for. And I understand that revolutions are hard. Of course they're hard. But if you don't want to fight for a revolution, don't get in the way of those that are actually trying to get the problem solved. And a lot of people out there that was against George W. Bush. I don't know about you guys, but if I was voting for a candidate and I seen that Bush people was lining up in droves to vote for her, that would change my vote right there. It would change my vote right there. But we have so many people going back into the matrix. Even Bernie supporters, I see it all time and time again. A lot of Bernie supporters out there saying, yeah, we're going to vote for who our first choice was. Really? Even though your ballot's going to be thrown in the trash? And the fact that I've seen some that even acknowledge that they know their ballot is not going to count. But they're still going to vote for the person that's not even running. It's like trying to vote for Bigfoot. When you have a progressive candidate out there in Jill Stein who's actually running for president. I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get it. But I don't see how we advance forward when we have people that don't even want to admit that it's a problem. It's kind of like the issue with race, the issue with what's going on in our country. We have people that deny that racism even exists. How do you get to the root to solving racism when you have so many people that deny that it exists in the first place? Or you have Hillbots that are vote blues no matter who. And when it comes to Hillary, they will support corruption just like that. They may be against war today, but the minute she's elected president and try to take us to war, all of a sudden, she got a well thought out plan. We kind of got to do it. That's where we'll be at. You guys want to be there? Because I don't. That's not where I want to be. That's not where I know a lot of you don't want to be, especially those that has kids. Of course, there's times when we need to go to war. Of course. But it needs to always be our last resort. Our last resort. And if it can't be our last resort, that's not the type of policy that we want to have. We got to get off this notion of still running around the country as if we are on the gold standard. We're killing people. Ignorance is killing people. Someone told me earlier, they said, yeah, we need to get rid of the Fed. We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Really? Why do you want to get rid of the Federal Reserve? Because they say the Federal Reserve is owned by the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds collect 7 cents off of every dollar. Yeah, that's the type of ignorance we're dealing with. The type of ignorance that you wonder what it takes to make this type of stuff. This stuff is not hard to find. It's right there. We're not talking about anything different that's not right there in front of you guys. But we continue to talk about cutting deficits and debts. I'm going to watch the debate tonight for entertainment purposes, but I'm really embarrassed. I don't really want to watch it because they're going to be talking about things that we know aren't true to begin with, deficits and debts, at a time when we are trying to improve our economy. They're going to be talking about, trying to balance budgets. Who tries to balance budgets? Balance budgets, really? Balance budgets. Look back at every time that the budget was actually balanced. You'll see that shortly after that led a recession. Bill Clinton brags about a budget surplus. But what happened once he left, when he was run out the door? We had a small recession. And if we don't spend money into this economy soon, we're going to slip back into a recession again. That's the reality of the situation. But we still have people out here talking about deficits and debts. I don't get it. I don't get it. We aren't on a gold standard anymore, folks. We haven't been since 1971. We are a monetary sovereign nation that creates its own currency. If a government creates its own currency, it definitely doesn't need tax dollars to spend to pay its bills. Just imagine if enough people in this world, I'm not even going to say the majority of the world, but let's just say if enough people in this world realize that we wasn't borrowing money from China, that we are not a nation that's in debt. And just imagine if the racists in the world knew that they wasn't paying for Tamika or Obama phone. If they realized that their tax dollars wasn't going that way. If they realized that their federal tax dollars don't pay for anything. Just imagine how much stuff we can solve and how many people's lives we can save. And what's so frustrating about it is this is not some type of policy that we have to put in place. It's already there. And it's been there for over 40 years. That's what's so aggravating. So ignorance is like literally killing people. It is. We can solve the tougher diseases. We can fix our planet, solve climate change, and get our students out of debt. But we won't do it because we're sitting here talking about budget deficits and debt. We are a monetary sovereignty nation. Let's use it. Let's use it for our advantage. Ignorance. Well, it's one thing for someone to be ignorant. At one point in time, we all had to learn something on a particular subject. But when you choose to be ignorant, it's a whole nother situation, and that is dangerous. I'm Kendall Sullivan. I'm going to leave it there.